Hey y'all, it's Chimdi. So I am back with an Ask Chimdi. It's been a while since we've done one of these. And this actually came from a friend of mine, and she said, "Hey love, I hope you're doing well. I wanted to reach out to see if by any chance you have any videos on picking a niche. I actually believe not having a niche, or well, trying to be nicheless, is hurting me, and the algorithm doesn't know where to put me. So I was curious if you already had a video on this so I could check it out. I've struggled to figure out what to stick to be honest." So I really sat with this question, and I've been really reflecting on it. And I want to share a couple of things that really stood out to me from the way you phrased the question. But before we get into it, I want to give a thank you to my Patreon people. Y'all are truly the sexiest. Though everyone who has subscribed to me, honestly, hot. Just hot, hot, hot. Can't believe it. It's honestly hard to believe. And in case you didn't know, which means you haven't been following me on my coaching Instagram, Coaching by Chimdi, I'm hosting my first Creative Freedom Workshop. It's actually on creative freedom and procrastination, and it's about unblocking your productivity. And I made a post and I asked you all, I'm thinking about making this workshop, what should the topic be? And that was the one that won. But the two other topics I offered were about creating a niche and also about finances. And so those topics also have a lot of votes. So stay tuned, because there may be some more workshops coming. And there are going to be a lot of goodies in that workshop. So definitely hit the link and register if you haven't already. Let's go ahead and get into this question. There were 3 underlying belief systems that I think are important to call out. This is something that I'm going to talk about in my workshop as well. Sometimes when we have questions about things, there's the sort of superficial level, like the on the surface understanding of what the problem is. And if we only understand things on the surface, we're only going to look for solutions that are on the surface. And then I believe there's always a foundational underlying motivation belief that's actually running the show. And it's only when we're able to actually recognize and see what those underlying beliefs are we actually able to make different choices and actually see a different result in our life. So I want to start by actually talking about some of the underlying beliefs. So the first one is not having a niche is hurting you. So for each of these, I'm going to unpack it and I'm going to share examples from my own experience. 2, the lack of a niche is the reason why your channel isn't where you want it to be. And 3, the algorithm has a conscience. And I think we often anthropomorphize things and make these things into people as if it has this like conscious thought behind it. And I really want to dig into why I don't think that's the case. So let's start with the first one, which is that not having a niche is hurting you. So right now my channel is just under 20,000 subscribers, and I want to do a quick breakdown of my top 10 videos, the ones that have the most amount of views. So 3 are hair tutorials, 2 are about home decor, 2 are about dental work, 1 is about eye surgery, 1 is about quitting weed, and 1 is about quitting my job. So as you see, we have a nice variety of topics that have brought people to my channel. Now, I do agree that when you have a specific focus, it's very clear why people will be subscribing to you. And we know there are channels where it's like, this channel is a cooking channel. I subscribe, I'm gonna get cooking content, and that's it. And I think what's beautiful is that if you already are driven in that way, if you already have a passion that supersedes everything else, then it's awesome and it's super clear, like, okay, this is gonna be the thing that I'm focused on. But if you already know that you're a person of many talents and many skills, and you have a lot of different things you wanna talk about, and you know you can make content about all those different things well, then it's much tougher to justify picking a niche. And when it comes down to actually doing it, it's much harder to actually stick to it. So I think there are a few things to unpack around this idea that not having a niche is the reason why your channel isn't where you want it to be, given that there are channels that are nicheless and are doing very well, right? So I think the first one is, of course, to recognize that you create your own goals. So there are some people who just want to start a YouTube channel. There's people who just want to get their first or 10 or first 100 or first 1,000 subscribers, and they're still on that track. And people who are just trying to get monetized, who just want to make some money, who want to make $100 off being monetized, and those people who want to get 10,000, a million subscribers, tens of thousands of dollars through AdSense. All of these different things. And so I think it would be helpful to recognize if YouTube is the only place in your life where you say, once I am at this level, then I will be successful. Or if you notice that in other parts of your life, that's a through line. Because that's what I realized for me, is that I had a number of like, once I get to X, Y, or Z, I will be successful. And I've had that kind of mindset from a very early age. Back when I was in college, it was like, once I get my first job, then it was once I have my own apartment. And then it was like, once I get a partner. And then it was once I travel, once I do this, once I do that, then I'll be successful and happy. To me, the underlying idea of success success and happiness is over there somewhere comes from not being able to be in our body because it's not safe and it's not pleasurable and it's not fun. And so we think, okay, I'm gonna get over there somewhere and over there will be better. But of course, it's all made up. So if you aren't happy where you are, no matter where you are, there isn't gonna be some magic solution that changes things. And I think that's really hard because it means you have to do the inner work to realize, oh, why am I not happy in my life? What happened that I had to run away in the first place? And do I have the resources now to really unpack and feel the intensity of the emotions that made it that I had to run away? The other thing with blaming the niche for why your channel isn't successful is that it also keeps you from looking at many of the other factors. So one, for instance, is simply just the quality of your videos, the thumbnails, the titles. And if you look around to folks who are where you want to be, how does the quality of your videos compare? When I look at my own videos, because I have videos on my channel that are super successful, hundreds of thousands of views, and then I have videos that have like a couple hundred, you know? And when I look at the difference in those videos, it's really clear to me why that's the case. A big one is that I'm not creating videos that people are searching on. Like YouTube is a search engine. So someone has an idea, they think about like, oh, I'd love to get some resources on this. They Google it, and then if my video comes up, it's because my content is tailored to what people are searching for. Now, sometimes I'm cool and I'm down to make content that's tailored to what people are looking for. And I'll find that I just naturally happen to do that with the quitting the job video, not smoking weed anymore video, and even the videos I've been making lately about my healing journey. I saw that those videos were doing well and I was like, oh, people must be searching for those, and so I made more of them. And I think it really works when it's something you actually want to talk about. Then it's easy to create those videos. But if you have this mindset that is, I have to make these videos, this is the only thing people care about, this is the only thing people want to see from me, then that sucks out the joy and the fun. I think there's something to creating content for your audience if your main goal for being on YouTube is audience growth. And I think that's something to really sit with, because I know for me, the number one reason I'm on YouTube is creative expression. You know, like I want people to watch, I hope people get value from it, but it's in me to create, it's in me to make videos. I like it, I find it fun, you know? And so I was doing it for years and years and years, even when my growth and the numbers and the money didn't really justify 16 hours of editing and all these different things, right? So you have to have a real passion anyway to keep doing it, because this is the kind of stuff you deal with. It's like videos not doing well, the algorithm seemingly being against you. If you are motivated by YouTube success, I think it's actually pretty straightforward to take a look and see what kind of videos do well, and I'm gonna back map and make videos that match that. But unfortunately, it's a really soulless way to work because it's not based on your creative inspiration, it's based on this external goal, and it's saying I'll only be happy. This video in itself is not the prize. It's going to be the numbers, the clicks, the views, the comments, the money. Only when I get that will I be satisfied. And that's you taking all of your joy and all of your happiness and exporting it and making it so that someone else is responsible for it. Which brings us to this final belief system, which is that the algorithm has a conscience and it doesn't know where to put you, you know? My understanding of how algorithms work is that it's truly code, and the point of the code is to keep people on the platform that it's been written for. And so the point of YouTube's algorithm is to keep people on YouTube, keep them coming back to YouTube, and when they're on YouTube to stay there longer and longer and longer. And so they're constantly throwing videos at subscribers with the notifications. They're constantly trying to tweak, okay, if I send this video to this person, will they click on it? Okay, if I send this video, will they click on it and actually stay and watch the whole thing? Will they watch more of those videos? And so they're just constantly updating to see which of those videos do that. And so it's actually really clear to see, oh, this is what's resonating with people based on that title and that thumbnail and those first 10 or 15 seconds of the video. Now that they have that autoplay feature, you can just think, you can do like just basic psychological research to understand what it is that makes people click on videos. And my understanding is that a lot of it is emotional. I don't know if you saw that movie, The Social Dilemma, but it talks about how people really click on things that make them angry and they click on things that get them riled up. So recognizing that if you wanted to play with people's emotions, you can do that in your videos, and that'll lead to more clicks and more engagement. So for instance, on my channel, I made a video about how I did this thing with Oprah and I didn't get paid for it. And I knew that would make people mad, and that would be like, what? Huh? So we know, and I could have made that exact same video with a completely different title and a completely different thumbnail, and it would not have had the same results. And so that's part of it, is like, to what extent are you willing to play with this algorithm, knowing that the ultimate goal is to keep people on YouTube and to keep them on YouTube longer. It doesn't have any broader, wider, ethical, moral, like, motivation. So if you are motivated by, I'm motivated by my spirituality and my healing journey and about embodiment, consciousness, awareness, all these kinds of things. I'm not motivated by naked capitalism. Love money, love making money, but that's not the most important thing to me. That's why I'm not so aligned with a style of YouTube growth that's just based on going to TubeBuddy and saying, okay, what have people searched for? What do people want to see? Let me make a video about that topic. And I've done that. There have been periods in my YouTube career. I have a video on my YouTube that's about how to get around in LA without a car, because I didn't have a car when I lived in LA, and I Googled about it, and there were not enough videos that really got to what I wanted to understand about it. And so I made that video, and then that video like is doing better than average, you know, for some of my videos. And it's because I was not the only one who was searching for that. Now that happened naturally, but if I wanted to, I could sit there and I could go on TubeBuddy and I could research each individual one, but it is not worth it for me. And that's actually, I was thinking about making a separate YouTube video about this, because when I think about, and I think I might touch on this maybe in like the creative freedom and finances workshop that I'll do. Let me know in the comments if you're interested in that workshop. The things we are intrinsically motivated by are the things that are going to make us the most money. And when I think about my YouTube success, the kind of satisfaction I get from making videos and uploading them, it's awesome and it's fun and I love it and I love the community. Like, it's great. I'm such a fan. But since doing my coaching work and like really pouring into it, the intimacy and the like directness and the container and the like the emotions and all of that, it's way, way more rewarding. And so I'm making more money from coaching, whereas some people make the kind of money I'm making coaching through AdSense or through sponsorships. I remember there was a sponsor, I worked with them once a couple years ago maybe, and they reached out to be like, hey girl, let's work together again. This is the amount of money. And I was like, for the amount of money y'all trying to pay me, it is not worth doing all this work, you know? Like, if it was just something I was doing anyway and y'all just wanted me to like mention y'all, okay. But to make a separate dedicated thing for y'all for money, it's not worth it. And I think about that because I got to do this cool commercial last year, and it was for Cash App taxes. Let me know, by the way, if you've seen that commercial. I had someone message me saying that they like saw the commercial on Facebook, and I was like, whoa, but I've never seen my own commercial. I was thinking like, oh, it would be really cool to be like called up again to do a commercial. And I feel really grateful that the thing they were asking me to be in wasn't a moral objection or whatever. But I can't imagine if like McDonald's, which I know that food ain't good for you, was like, hey girl, we'll give you $1 million to like, and I'm just like, So the reason why I wanted to unpack all of those underlying belief systems before talking about how to pick a niche is because, and I think this has been your experience, you can pick a niche. You can say, I'm gonna be talking about spirituality, I'm gonna be talking about relationships, I'm gonna be talking about makeup. You can pick the niche, but then if you find that you only did that to get subscribers or money or views, and you're not getting that, of course you're gonna stop making videos on it because that was the only reason you were talking about that thing. You might also run into the issue, and I've seen this happen time and time again, where someone has a more general channel, they have a certain video that pops off, and they make their entire channel about that one style of content, and then it is not sustainable because they're more than that, and they actually really wanna talk about that. They were just chasing success. So they'll try to pivot, and their channel will really suffer, and then they have to ask themselves, okay, do I wanna give up on this life that I've created around this livelihood based on only talking about this one thing, or do I want to actually create something that'll fulfill me in a more meaningful way? And I've seen content creators go both ways, where they're just like, well, back to talking what I was talking about before, or they're just like, F it, it's now a lifestyle channel, be happy about it, all right? If you aren't motivated to keep creating content on the niche, you're not gonna do it. So where I am now after 5-6 years on YouTube, I think I actually do have a niche now, because in the beginning, like y'all saw, I was talking about all types of things, and now in my mind, my niche is spirituality and healing and creativity. So those are the things that I talk about, and those are the through lines across all of my videos. But actually, actually, and I do think this is the importance if you're trying to have a nicheless channel, is you have to have a personality that is really, really sparkling. That people really are like, you're either really funny or you're really like sarcastic or you're really like, whatever it is that speaks to your people, you like really lean in and you let yourself be your full expression, because ultimately no one can compete with you. So when you try to be like someone else, that won't work because they already have that lane. You have to be like you because no one else can compete with that. And an example I know from my life is I follow the home decor YouTuber Lone Fox. I think he's awesome. And there are so many people who make home decor content. YouTube will try to suggest them to me like, hey girl, you wanna watch EXO McKenna? And I'm like, no, I just wanna watch Lone Fox. If she wants to pop into one of his videos, I'll be like, hey girl, but I'm only interested in him and his journey, and it's a blessing and it's truly all I need, and I'm not hungry for additional home decor lifestyle content. So I think when you know who you are, when you're able to be that all the way, when you don't have a fear of that full expression, then you'll naturally find yourself bringing that lovely energy into whatever you talk about, and then people care about you for you and not because of the topic that you're talking about. And you don't have to have fear that when you try to talk about something new, it's gonna go away. So these are just like my initial thoughts on this topic based on the question you asked me. I hope this is helpful. Let me know in the comments if you want me to still make a separate workshop where we really dive into this further, because I do think there are some additional things to consider, especially around the consistency piece and that thing of when you try to work on something and you find yourself not working on it. We're gonna talk about that with the procrastination workshop. Go ahead and follow me on my Coaching by Chimdi Instagram. Sign up for the workshop. It's my first one. I'm so excited. There's gonna be all these little goodies for folks, exclusive offers for folks. It's gonna be such a good time. I'm so excited. If you've already signed up, DM me and say hi. And if you haven't filled out the questionnaire, so I'm working on the workshop now, and like I sent folks a questionnaire and they've been like telling me the specific things they're going through, and so I'm tailoring the workshop to what they are specifically going through. So if you haven't filled out the questionnaire, do that. All right, y'all, I'll see you in the next one.